On this week of Soldiers Tech Battlefield, I have a special guest here, Adam Sessler. We're going to be talking about the age-old discussion between consoles and PCs. We're going to start the show. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mark Watson, otherwise known as Soldier Knows Best. This is another episode of Soldier Tech Battlefield. I have my man here, Adam Sessler. He needs no introduction. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, today we're going to be talking about PCs versus consoles as far as the gaming world out there, because this has been the age-old debate and discussion. And we're going to talk about three different categories. We're going to talk about the graphics, we're going to talk about multiplayer, and then we're going to talk about the games themselves. So first, we're going to start off with the graphics, Adam. Now, what do you think about the future of graphics with consoles, especially with the Xbox 720 supposedly maybe coming out next year and things like that? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, if what you're seeing on a PC, a high-end PC, you turn everything up, you're getting a glimpse of what the new consoles, the PS4, the Xbox 720 are going to do. It's that amazing clarity, that depth. I think that's a really big one. And the ability to render big, wide open areas. Right now, I'd say Far Cry 3 is doing the best job of showing what things could look like on a console.
Right. I totally agree with you. And sometimes, even when I saw some of the games like Halo 4 this year, I was pretty impressed with the graphics. And then you kind of step away from the fact that the Xbox is so old right now that the future of the 720 really has a huge horizon as far as the things that we'll probably see in the future. But definitely the PCs have the ability to upgrade your graphic card. So even when the 720 comes out, I'm pretty sure you'll still be able to get beefier graphics on the PC because of the new graphics card that may be out then.
Yeah, no, I expect that too.
Right, and I can't wait for that. Now, let's go ahead and move on to multiplayer, because it's definitely different two sides between multiplayer. Now, my kind of thought is that with the consoles, a little bit more personal, because more of your friends are probably going to have an Xbox or PlayStation 3 versus having like a really good gaming computer. So I think on the console side, I think I kind of give the advantage to that as far as multiplayer, because again, it's more personal, it's more people you can play with. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we give it to the console too, mainly because of Xbox Live, not so much the PSN, that when you have that multiplayer back end that's so integrated into the machine itself, and it's not just on a game per game basis. The one thing I would say though is dedicated servers. There's definitely something appealing about a dedicated server. Not all PC games support it, but yeah.
Right, and that's one of the things I hate with playing Halo. It's fun, but you are dependent on other people's connection, which is definitely going to be a downfall in some of those games. But I think multiplayer overall, like you said, PSN is definitely lacking behind Xbox in the console marketplace. But with networks like Steam and things like that on the PC side, I think there's definitely something for multiplayer for people out there in the PC world. All right, now it's going to jump into the games. Now, as far as the games, the future of the games on the consoles, we definitely this past year we had a lot of great games. Some Far Cry, of course, that released on the PC and the consoles. We had Halo. We had what other games we had? What were the games that you really liked this past year?
Like even Assassin's Creed 3, and then also The Walking Dead. Not a graphically intensive game, but it does perform better on a PC than it does on a console.
Right, and that's what we normally see. And this goes back to your point about the graphics, in the first part, about how the consoles are just now probably starting to catch up with the next releases of a generation of consoles out there. Now, as far as now I know we kind of talked about this before. Right now, this year, if you have a game, you have a choice between playing a game on the Xbox or playing on your PC. Which one are you going to choose?
If it's available on both, I go to the PC. I mean, look, forgive me, I still use my Xbox controller on the PC, but it just looks better. I also like being that much closer to the screen for a lot of games, like say XCOM. I like to fiddle around and really kind of get in it, and I feel more comfortable doing that on the PC, probably because I work on a PC with a spreadsheet or something like that.
Right, that's true. And I kind of found myself doing the same thing this year. I got Far Cry, we were talking about that before, loaded it up on my PC. I played the console version too, but it's just something about the PC, being able to crank everything up to high, being able to get, software updates and patches for your GPU to be able to take advantage of everything. And I'm just really loving Far Cry on the PC versus the console right now. All right, so anyway, what are your final thoughts? Like on the horizon, what do you see the PC and the console gaming marketplace being like in 2013?
I think the PC is going to become more important. Maybe not for the big games like the Assassin's Creeds and the XCOMs, but because you can get all those small indie games. It's so much easier. It's an open system. You just download it. You can try something out that's as crazy as the game Slender Man from this summer. I think there's a huge future on the PC. It just will not look like the console future.
All right, well, that definitely sounds good to me. All right, guys, but this is going to wrap up today's episode of Soldier Tech Battlefield. I really thank Adam Sessler for coming on here. Anything you want to plug? What show are you on? Anything like that right now?
Yes, if you want to see everything I'm doing over at Rev3 Games, it's very easy. You go to youtube.com Rev3 Games and you hit subscribe. You can also do that on iTunes, and of course you can go to revision3.com. We have a lot of really good stuff that's already been up since I joined in November. I encourage everyone to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. You want to get the latest news on the new BioShock game coming out. He has a couple good pieces, especially an interview as well on there. So you definitely want to check that out. Great stuff. All right, guys, again, thanks for watching this episode of Soldiers Tech Battlefield. I will see you guys next week. Again, thanks for Adam for coming out, and I will catch you later. Peace. But it looks like Google just went a step further and actually beat out Apple in one of his best categories. That is just making things plain and simple. So I really do like the design of the new Google Maps.